All right, got some rest, ate some food, drank some juice, some Gatorade. It's about 3 o'clock-ish. I'm gonna go do another ride. Gonna go out through Round Valley down by Burns Canyon Road to where 202 and 303 meet up. Just kind of putz around just to get out. That's about it. Explore some stuff. Don't know how far down 303 I'll go, but we'll give it a whirl. Go explore and ride. Just want to ride, not particularly want to go somewhere. I just want to put miles on the quad. Do love riding it. Gonna stop and smell the roses here. Show you some of these cactus flowers that are blooming. These are pretty cool. Anyway, now you've experienced something. It's what I call the dream catcher tree. It's got a bunch of old stuff. Car parts, like old plumber's tape or strapping, oil can, bottle. Got a big lock washer and a square nut. I think this was part of a valve. It's got a square thing in there. We got a bolt that was designed to be safety wired, which is pretty cool. We got some liquor bottle here, a belt clip, like an old military belt clip. Got a condenser from a car, a blue bottle piece. Got a bushing of some sort of a coupler, a gate latch piece, another piece of strap. Here's part of a intake or exhaust manifold. You could see there was some bolted to it. I don't know if it was a water pump or a water thing, or if it was an exhaust or an intake. Here's the other part of the there, and it's got a big washer if you need a washer. That's the other part of the gate thing that's over there. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Little trinkets in the middle of nowhere. Just stuff you find out here from the old mining days. You know, there were vehicles out here, obviously. There were vehicles out here. See what I can hang this on. There. Piece of strapping. Well, if you need a condenser for your points, there's one here. Anyway, I think that looks like a hacksaw blade almost. It is a hacksaw blade. Look at that. a hacksaw blade. I'll put that right there. There. We added to it, or we put it back, I should say. It'd be kind of interesting to come here with a metal detector. It's a 12 gauge shell. Somebody at one point even had a fire here, way out here. That's a road there. You could kind of see it over there. It went up to a mine. A lot of this has been like dug out. You could tell there's been like machinery in here, especially up there on that piece. Take a walk up there. It looks unnaturally flat to be natural. Yeah, these are all pilings. There was a mine here somewhere for sure. Kind of continues that way. It goes up that. Got a can. Something 20 on it. Sure, there's a ton of crap out here if you walk. If you keep walking, I'm sure you find more treasures. Buddy of mine keeps telling me I need to get a metal detector. Come out here. I'm sure I would find stuff, but I don't know, someday when I got that money burning a hole in my pocket. Anyway, back to the quad. Got a cable here. That was bulldozed in. Something was here, someone was digging. There's a hose. Oh, this was bulldozed down, so there was something up there, probably. There's another can over there. And you could tell they pushed this with a dozer because there's a ton of crap. There's cans. There's a frame. Good. There's a hose. There's a tire. A really, really bald tire. Beauty Lair. Look at that. It's even got a thing on it. Beauty Lair. I gotta take a picture of that. See if Google Lens will find something. I hear a woodpecker. There's more cans here. More metal. There's a duct. Another duct. ton of baling wire. Could have been part of a shack at one point. Another piece of chimney. Bunch of broken bottles. So this was a shooting range because everything here has got a bullet hole in it. So that's where all this stuff came from for the dream catcher tree. Something was here. This kind of dead ends. There's really nothing there. It's one of them like water separation little trough wheel things. Is a thing that goes around and they wash things, and they got pipes coming in, and I think they even had pipes coming in, or they have pipes going out, but I think there was pipes coming in too. There's one more of these out here that I know. It's a little ways down. There's also a running spring into a trough for the wild animals. I may hike up in there later. The trail's gone, but I may be able to walk to it. Saw a road look like a woodcutter road I haven't noticed before, and then I went down it and I saw some artifacts, metal, but then from a distance I saw this cool rock formation here, which is, you know, it's mostly trees and dirt, but I thought it was kind of cool. It's like a little den. Pretty interesting rock pile in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, just a pile of rocks. Nothing else. Alright, well, mosey on out of here. Alright, out at a little perch that overlooks Round Valley. It's east-ish of Burns Canyon Road. This little perch actually overlooks Cactus Flats and off towards the dump, I think, roughly. And there's a cell tower there, so this little perch actually has signal. It's one of the secret spots I figured out that's not so secret to me anymore. But it's right when you come down 201, and 201 runs into, it's where 201 tees into Burns Canyon Road. If you continue straight across Burns Canyon Road, you'll find this little perch up here, and there's signal. There's a mine here. Somebody cut it open. No, not climbing in it. But got me a garden hose O-ring in case I need to hook up a garden hose. But yeah, you could shimmy your way in there. But I feel no air coming, which means it doesn't go through. But it's cut pretty good. It's cut pretty square. So who knows how far in it goes. You can kind of almost see the end. I guess I can grab my flashlight, but I'm not gonna. Don't really care. Don't really care. There's one more up top, but if it was connected, there's another perch above this one right there, I think. But if it was connected, you'd feel the draft going through it. So yeah, I've been to the other one. I see the pilings right there. You go down that way and come around. But I'm meeting up with my buddy Nick. He is gonna drive out here. I don't know if he's coming in his truck or if he's riding his side-by-side. If he's riding his side-by-side, he might even follow me all the way back to camp, but I doubt he's gonna take his truck there. Thing's only a year old, if that. I don't think he wants to bang it up that road. But anyway, he'll probably be here in about 40 minutes down there by the road. I kind of just rolled on the perch so I can check in with the family. Anyway, I'm gonna mosey down there and find me a shady spot. anyway, still smoky, but I took a shower, which feels like $1,000,000 after riding. I am gonna not panic. I fired up the internet, checked the fires. This, in fact, is all coming out of Banning, which is down by the 10 freeway. It's actually on the south side towards Idlewild. It's probably a much bigger threat over there. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I am gonna keep an eye on things. There's a little bit of ash here, which is crazy. It's this far, but I don't think the GoPro will show it. There's little white dots on this panel. And now the white dots are gone. There's more right there. You know, I don't know if the camera will see it. Anyway, that's ash. But you know, the fire's not near here. The air quality isn't great. But it's more blowing to the north of me. I can kind of see it. You know, I got this blue, I can't even see the moon. But somehow that's just going that way. And that's the most of it over there now. You can see it. You know, hopefully the wind shifts and blows it the other way and clears it out, but I'm not gonna panic and leave. This might all blow over. How does that go? Let's go to the Winchester, have a pint, and wait till this whole thing blows over, right? You know how that ended up.
Go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
But anyway, I want to fire up the barbecue, get some meat going, and have dinner. It'll be nice. It was a great visit with my buddy Nick. I found out about the fire. I called on the local ham radio on one of the local repeaters in Big Bear Lake, talked to a bunch of guys. They looked stuff up and didn't see anything in the area. They suspected it was the one from Banning. And then after I got to internet, I confirmed that. So it's good. It's good to have the ham radio for emergencies. You get a lot of info really quick. Generally, you can grab an old timer sitting next to his radio that's also got the internet right at his fingertips, so they can relay, you know, real-time information. Good to have ham radio for disasters. Can't stress that enough. You know, I got, you know, a ham radio license, obviously. If you haven't figured it out, there's the call. There's a rig on, you know, there's a ham radio in the truck. There's also a ham radio, which you just saw earlier on the quad. And it has a locator modem. It's actually a APRS modem. Takes the GPS signal and pipes it out to the internet over the air. So you can actually find my location when I don't have internet. It gets broadcasted out over VHF on 144.39 megahertz. So yeah, can't stress enough. You got to have your ham radio stuff for disasters and emergencies. I'm not talking like zombie apocalypse. That ain't coming. But you know, all the other stuff. You get where I'm going with this. But anyway, I want to get the meat out and get this thing fired up real quick. Get my trusty old torch down there, and that's it. Maybe put on my head cam so I can kind of film it. Get this out. The barbecue is not firing. see what we got going on here.
Odoo's got it. Odoo sounds pretty amazing, right? Expensive, disconnected platforms. And let Odoo harmonize your business with simple apps. Sign up today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com. Odoo, modern management made simple.
I'm Chad Perkin with the Speaker's Office. Most members of the U.S. House and Senate were nowhere near Mark. Bolter is also accused of shooting Minnesota State Senator John Bolton in his right to that. All
President Trump said on Fox's Sunday Morning Futures he doesn't believe that Iran's nuclear program survived the assault of the bunker buster bombs dropped on their locations.
Nearby in case of fire or malfunction. A woman from Locust Grove, Georgia, right near Atlanta, has died after a mid-air skydiving collision. This happened during a jump, according to her family.
All right, there's a quick dinner. Simple. But so good. Smoked barbecue and all this smoke. Call that extra smoky. All right, the smoke has cleared out, but the bugs haven't. So I'm inside on my screened room. Got this going. This is actually manageable in here, which is nice. Got me a Taiwan beer. Tonight is a movie night. Tonight, I'm gonna see what I got going on. See what I got on the tablet, and we'll get that fired up. So I download a lot of stuff that I can watch, documentaries, movies, you know, you have whatever. That way I'm not using the internet, the Starlink. But anyway, probably check on the fires. I haven't checked in a bit. See what's going on, but it's clearing out. The winds must have shifted, and like directly overhead, it's pretty clear. I see it. It's kind of stopped going that way, and then it's going way, way east of us. So it's good. Fire up Netflix. See what I got going on. See if there's I'm gonna crack open this beer while I wait for that thing to boot up. That tablet's a few years old, but yeah, that's the stuff. Got La Palma. That's a flood disaster. Titan, the Ocean Gate submersible disaster. The Twister, that's a documentary. Viral might be good. Return of the Blue Lagoon, if you remember that. The Swarm. Oklahoma City bombing. Havoc. May watch that. I don't know. I think this viral thing I might go for. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Gonna enjoy my beer and movie. Anyway, enjoying my movie, my beer. I was reading up on some news earlier when you heard the ham radio in the background. Somebody was saying somebody was snipering at firefighters responding to a fire. I just wasn't sure about that, but I did find an article on CNN that's from today where something like that, in fact, was reported. But anyway, got an incoming phone call. Gonna take it, and I'll be back later. Alright, the movie's done. It was called Viral. Turned out to be a zombie movie. Kind of scary. Anyway, not fun watching spooky movies when you're all alone out in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, I'm gonna turn in, and this will conclude the day 2 of the camping trip. Once again, thanks for watching, and until the next episode, which will be day 3. All right, take care.